Hi, Jackie here of readmeeatmedrinkme.com. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Today's video is going to be a booktube tag. The tag is called the newbie tag, and obviously I haven't been tagged by anyone to do this video, well, because I'm new. And so I figured I would do it anyway because it'll give me a chance to tell you a little bit more about why I want to make videos for booktube. There are 5 set questions, so let's just jump into it. The first question is, what can you bring to booktube that's fun and unique? Well, I plan on making a variety of videos, not just hauls or reviews or tags. I plan on doing a mixture of the 3 and hopefully doing a few things that might surprise you in the future. I also read many different genres, which I think will also make me a little bit more unique. I've noticed that on booktube the community tends to lean toward young adult fiction, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love young adult fiction, as you can see behind me, but I also read a lot of other things as well. I like reading the classics and adult fiction, anywhere from sci-fi to romance to historical fiction, and I'll read anything from children's books to cookbooks. So I hope that I'm encouraging other people to branch out and read things that they don't normally read as well. The second question is, what are you most excited about for this channel? Well, growing up, I was the first person to pick up a book in my family or in a group of friends, whether it was manga or a regular book, and I loved giving suggestions. So I'm excited to be able to share what I like with all of you. And in my opinion, if through this channel you manage to find a book that you like, you're inspired to read something, whether it's because I said that I liked it so you figured you might like it, or I said something about a book that even though I didn't like it, you still felt that you might like it, if you're inspired to read that book, then I feel like I've served my purpose. So I'm excited to be able to inspire people to read different types of books that they might not have otherwise either heard about or picked up on their own. I'm also excited to connect with the booktube community as a whole. I've been watching videos for a while, and I'm pretty excited to be able to have the opportunity to really connect to the community, but as an active participant. The third question is, why do you love reading? Well, for me, it's always been kind of an escape. And I know that that's kind of cliche because people say that about movies and whatever, but it's always been pretty true. I'm one of 4 kids, and it was always nice growing up to be able to just close my door and read a book, maybe put in some headphones and just drown out all the noise, and then go back and do my chores when I was done. But it really did give me a chance to have my own space and to kind of go into my mind and experience what these characters were experiencing. I've always read for pleasure, and so I feel like being able to do that at a young age and then letting that carry on into my adult life has been like a saving grace. I found so many books that I've truly connected with, like on a visceral level sometimes, that it's been just a breath of fresh air sometimes when you absolutely need it. And sometimes it's just nice to step into someone else's life. You never know what kind of book you're going to pick up, and sometimes you pick up a book, whether it's science fiction, and so you're experiencing something through an astronaut's life, or it's just a slice of life book, coming of age or whatever. It's nice to be able to step away from your own life for a moment and go into somebody else's. The fourth question is, what book or series got you into reading? I don't feel like there was just one. I remember one book very strongly though from my childhood, and that book was called There's a Monster at the End of This Book, and it was a Sesame Street book, and it starred Grover, and there's a monster at the end of the book, and he's telling you, like, don't go, don't turn the page, don't turn the page, but obviously you're reading the book, so you're continuing to turn the page, and it was just so funny and so good, and I read it all the time, and it really made me laugh. So that was something I read a lot as a kid, just that one book over and over again. When I hit my in-between years, my teenager years, I guess, so to speak, I read The Luckiest Girl by Beverly Cleary, and I must have read it several times over one summer. I pulled the book out of my bookshelf so you can see it. It's definitely well loved. My spine is a little sad, bent all over, a couple pages that are falling out, but still stuck in there so I can read it again. But this one really was amazing. It's about like first love, and it was the first book that I ever read like that, so it really kind of like made me feel something, I guess. And then a series that really got me into like reading series of books, because I hadn't really done that before, at least not on a large scale, was the Ugly series by Scott Westerfeld. So it looks like this, at least the version that I have of it. Same thing, really well loved. I loved this series. It's, oh my gosh, I can't even explain how much I love this series. I think at some time I'll have to make a separate video just about the Uglies books, because I felt so in love with those books. I've read all of them multiple times, all 4 books. Couldn't wait to meet Scott Westerfeld and have him sign one of my books. Just, yeah, there are not enough words to describe how I feel about those books. Question number 5. What would I ask my favorite booktuber? I would ask my favorite booktubers what genres they like to read that they don't really discuss on their channels. And then I would want to know why. Why don't you talk about those types of books if you really enjoy them? If you mostly talk about YA books, but you really love like science fiction, or you really love the classics, or you really love romance, why don't you ever talk about them? I've always found that very interesting to see why people choose to talk about certain things over others. So I think that's what I would want to know. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what book got you into reading. I'm really curious to see all of the different answers that we come up with. Thanks. Make it a magical day.